Hello, good evening. Welcome to Nikki Nights. Hi. So this is a special, really special late night edition of Nikki Nights. Like it's Nikki Nights, but at night. Uh, it's so I'm filming. Uh, I'll just tell you, I'm filming at 10 p.m. in the evening because my guest is in Australia. So yeah, so it's technically 10 a.m. Saturday morning where she is. So she's here. She's an amazing friend of mine, extremely talented, gifted singer. Um, I I I found her in a very interesting way. I was on the old TikTok and I was blown away by her voice. And then I got to know her as a human being, and I was stunned at how absolutely gorgeous her soul is. So, my guest today is Nicole Ferreira. She's in the waiting room all the way. I believe she's in Perth, Australia. Oh my gosh, I love Australia. Oh, I wish I was there. Okay, I'm admitting her.
Hello?
Oh, I can hear you now. Hey.
Hi! Can you hear me properly?
I can. How are you?
Good. Oh, I was like about to record that. Why was I recording that? Sorry.
Oh,
All right.
no. It's all good. I was just telling everybody that you are in Perth, Australia right now, right?
Yes, Perth, Australia.
One of my favorite places, Australia.
Can you
Not fair that you're there and I'm here, but that's fine.
ASAP?
What?
You need to come and visit us ASAP.
I know. Well, things are, whenever that border gets lifted and we can run rampant again. But so I was just telling everybody, and everybody, I mean the people who listen to this podcast, because I'm sitting in a room by myself. So let's just be frank. So I was telling everybody that I was on the old TikTok, and I heard a voice that stopped me dead in my tracks. And I have to say, like, I've heard a lot of music, off of like cutting room floors, in studios, and because I have friends who are musicians, and in the span of my career, I've heard a lot of musicians, but when I heard your voice, I was just totally bowled over, taken back. It's so beautiful and it's so unique, and you are just incredibly gifted. So when did you start singing?
Well, firstly, thank you so much, because I tell you what, when I saw that your name popped up on my TikTok, I was like, nah, this isn't real. Like, so thank you for finding me, number one, and thank you for your beautiful words. When did I start singing? I think I started singing when I was about 9, but I would sing in my bedroom all alone, like nobody knew that I was singing, and I'd pretend that I was on American Idol. So that's when I started, but I didn't actually sing in front of anyone until I was about 21.
Really?
Yeah,
Was that
100%.
because
Myself.
were you nervous of, see, because I always say it was interesting for me when I started singing growing up. I gauged my talent. Sorry, my alarm's going off. It's telling me I have an interview with you. Yeah, I'm really well put together, guys, just FYI. But growing up for me, I kind of gauged my singing off of the reaction of the people I was singing for. So I didn't know if I was good or not. Like, that didn't matter to me. It was how I made people feel when I sang. And I noticed when I would sing like my grandma's favorite songs, like, she would get the tears in her eyes. And so that singing for me was always something that was more about causing an emotion than just like nailing a performance. I mean, now, of course, I want to cause emotion, but I want to hit those notes too. But back then, it was more so, I think for me, it was discovering that singing is connected to how we feel and how we make other people feel.
That's amazing. I think for me, it was very similar. But for me, music was a very safe place that I could hide in. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was faced with trauma as a kid, but no one knew because, as a kid, sometimes you sort of just keep that to yourself. And my music was the only thing that someone couldn't take away from me, my singing. And as well as that, I didn't know if I could sing. I didn't want to upset people. I didn't want to disappoint people because I was doing this thing that was singing. And if I was bad at it, what would everyone say? But I felt it. I could feel it in my bones. I still do. I mean, as a musician, as a singer, as an artist, it literally just pours out of you like sweat. And as a 9-year-old kid, I knew that I had to protect that. As crazy as that sounds, I had to protect it, and I did not share that with anyone. And my dad's a musician, and I didn't even tell him. So it was like I had to come out of the closet almost as a musician when I was 21.
Well, because you're bearing a whole other level of yourself. It's one thing, I always say it's one thing when I act, sure, you're getting to see a different side of me, but that's really me playing a character. My singing voice is my voice. That's it. You only get one. Like, I can't I could do crazy voices all day long, but you have that signature thing that is Nicole, and I have that signature thing that's Nikki, and I think that's what always is important to me now. I find as I get older and I do different songs and I transition into different styles of music, it's always maintaining that I'm true to Nikki at the end of the day in all of my music.
Exactly. And that's my goal. And for me, the one thing that keeps me grounded with my music is my therapy is yours for the taking. And that's what I tell all my fans and my followers is I don't care what I put out as long as it's my therapy that I'm putting out, and it is yours to take how you want to take it. And if it helps you, that's my goal. But essentially as a musician, it is my therapy.
It's very much my therapy as well. I mean, if I'm having a bad day, I'm not kidding. If I'm having a bad day, if I'm having a crappy day, if I need a moment where I just go, you know what, I can't, because there will be parts of my days where I'll get overwhelmed and I'll say, you know what, I'm going to step away for 3 minutes. And I go out in my backyard and I sing my face off. I sing one song or whatever. And I don't care if I hit the notes, great. If I don't, but it's just, I need to sing just to feel better. And then I'm back down to my level. I get it out of my system. It's therapy. It's the best form. And the fact that you share that with people and you give that to people, I mean, the only person getting my therapy is my poor neighbor, Frank, next door.
Hi, Frank.
Frank for sure hates me. He's heard Good Morning Baltimore about 300 million times and he's over it. But anyway, but the fact that you share this with people, I mean, it's beautiful. And I felt your passion the minute I clicked on your page. And so I'm very glad that at 21, you decided to share it with
Thank you.
people.
You're so beautiful. You honestly just make me you see my mouth, it just goes like huge. Like it just smiles.
Oh, well, you're just the sweetest. Growing up, who would you say were some of your biggest musical influences? Somebody, people that you turn to, listen to a lot.
This is such a strange question because, and I always struggle with this. It's not a strange question, but I always struggle with this because I didn't really have a set musician, and I still don't. If I hear a song, and I connect with it, then that is it for a week or 2 weeks, or until that feeling is like subsided, I guess. So for me, it has never been about the artist, it's always been about the song. And that's why 9 times out of 10, I don't even know who I'm listening to. I'll try and find out who it is, but if I hear the song, I'll download it and then I'll just keep listening. And so when I was growing up, it was a lot of Michael Bublé, for instance. I mean, he was just, and I've seen him in concerts 3 times. Like Michael Bublé, he was a very core musician, like completely growing up for me. And then Elvis Presley, that would be a main one as well because of my grandmother, but not so much as because of the lyrics that he was singing, but just the person that he was and how he made my grandmother feel with her siblings, you know, like watching my grandmother and my auntie. I just called her my auntie, even though she was my grandmother's sister, but just dancing in the lounge room, 2 old ladies just dancing in the lounge room and just feeling everything. So that to me was like, okay, it's not about the musician. It is about this feeling that they give, and this, you just feel free. You know what I mean? So for me,
Yeah.
anyone that made me feel free was my inspiration for however long that was.
That's beautiful. I mean, I very much do the same thing. If I find a song, then I'm with it and I stick with it and I will harp on it for weeks and I will send it to everybody I know. And I'm like, I love this. You have to listen to this artist. Like I turn into like, I turn into like I'm campaigning for them, like they're a politician. Like I go hard. But you know, growing up for me, my nan was a really big musical influence on me. I actually credit her more than anybody in my family for the musical influences she put upon me. I mean, and I would watch her jitterbug with my grandfather in the living room to Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and Patsy Cline and I mean Paul Anka, like all of these old time, old school, legendary musicians. And it's like, you know, I now, whenever I need to, it's so funny how music can transport you as well, because I could be having a moment where I'm stressed and my nan is no longer with us, but I need to feel her. And the first thing I do is put on Patsy Cline and I know my grandmother's there. So it's amazing how music can make you feel things, but also take you to a time that nothing else could bring you to that time.
I couldn't agree more. I'm the same with Elvis and my grand. You know, she's passed as well, and every time I listen to Elvis, it's the same thing. It transports you back in time, and I think that's the beauty of music, is that it's timeless. It's literally timeless.
It is. And it's a
Oh,
universal language. You know, there's a brilliant artist that I've been listening to, Gina Chavez, and I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did. I wish, but I'm not the best at picking up other languages. And see, I can't even keep a phone light up. Ridiculous. So I've been listening to this artist and I don't speak Spanish, but I can feel her emotions. And, you know, and it's so amazing how just because you don't know exactly what's being said, you can feel it.
100%. And that's the most important part of it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Are you kidding? Are you serious though? Like,
you have a
do I have a what?
clip?
No. Oh my gosh, this is it. This is the last straw. I've had it with you. This is it. You know, phone. I think the phone's had it with me, and that's why I'm just not going to breathe near it so it doesn't move.
Well, you
Technology.
Still lighting is like on point. Just saying. Hopefully, anyone that's watching and people that are listening right now, Nikki looks divine.
Oh my gosh, you're the sweetest. Thank you. I put on a little war paint. I was like, oh God, let me just paint my face really fast. And sometimes, you know, there'll be days where I'll tell you, No. If I'm going to the grocery store, I'm not putting on makeup. Nope. Most likely I'm not going to wear a bra either.
Yes.
It's hoodie season, okay? It's East Coast, it's hoodie season. Once like late October hits, I would say at least 50% of the women in New York like abandon their bras. They're like, it's hoodie season, like who cares? Yeah.
Is it snowing right now, or is it like, what's the weather like?
It's getting chilly here. We had like a beautiful few days during my birthday. It was gorgeous. And then now it's been raining and all that fun stuff. But it's New York. It's going to be interesting to see how they do Christmas with COVID. But, it's a resilient city. So
I can't wait to visit New York one day. I don't know why, but ever since I was a kid, it has been a huge dream of mine just to go to America. I do not know why. My mom used to ask me, she's like, where are you going to go to university one day? And I'm like, Harvard. Like,
I love that. Just go right for the goal. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I was the same way when it came to auditioning for schools for theater. In high school, they were like, "Oh, where do you want to go?" I was like, "I want to go to NYU Tisch." Like, like who just like, I don't know. But I think it's important to have those dreams and to believe in yourself enough to audition or put an application out for a school like that. Speaking of auditions, you had a big audition that kind of like made you like Miss Australia. You did The Voice. Oh my gosh, tell me about that, please. Because first of all, your audition is I just want to like jump on stage, sing with you, hug you. It's amazing. And your dad was there.
That was a very, very special moment. I think being on The Voice, I did not turn a chair, but I think being on The Voice was probably in the top 5 moments of my entire life. Not because of the music, not because of anything, but the fact that I got to share that moment with my dad, because he had never heard me sing. And I'm 29 years old. And that was the first time my dad, in front of like the entire country, had heard me sing. So that moment for me was bringing it full circle as this 9-year-old kid who is getting, abused, and my parents don't know, and I'm taking my music and I'm keeping it within myself. And then full circle, 20 years later, I'm in front of an entire country going, Dad, this is who I am. And my dad's reaction is just like, like crying and being so proud. So for me, being on The Voice was just, it was kind of like that therapy, and all the shit that I went through, it just came full circle. And it was like, okay, I can do this. If I can sing in front of my dad right now, I can do whatever I want to do in my life, and I'm gonna do it. So that's honestly, that was the most amazing time. But then being on The Voice as well, seeing how the production crew works, seeing how the producers, seeing how everyone sort of comes together to make this huge show, I was like, okay, this is where I belong.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, I in this industry. Yeah.
Yeah. And see, that when you feel it. And I knew that from the minute I walked on set. I was like, oh yeah, I'm home. Yeah, I need to be here. And it's like I've tried to go other places, and I've gotten part-time jobs in between, and I'm like, every time I go there, I'm just like, okay, I'm here, but I need to just go home, because that's where I'm really meant to be set. And it's like when you're called to a place, I feel that performing is a calling, I think it takes a certain person who's willing to share such a vulnerable, deep part of themselves with other people to try and help people. And I think just from looking at your TikTok and knowing the person that you are a big advocate for mental health, like myself. and you are always supporting people and checking in on friends and people. And I just want to commend you for that, because, there is unfortunately still such a stigma, I know, in this country surrounding mental health. It's not talked about as much as it should be. And I just want to thank you for just being a really great voice for that, and speaking out on that on your page, and using your platform for good. Because it's interesting, when we get these platforms, it's up to us how what we put out there. um you know some people do funny content, some people do serious content, but you you just have beautiful content, everything from your singing to just mental health awareness. So it's very much, for me, I find what kind of content you're putting out, and you inspire me to put out better content.
Wow, thank you. I just like, for me, um if you're given an opportunity to speak, so at the moment I think I'm at 38,000 followers. That's 38,000 people, and my music career is zero. Like, in my opinion, a life is more important than my music career. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care. Your life is more important than my music career. So how do I join those two together? That's why I took my platform and I'm like, okay, well, if y'all gonna listen to me sing, I will give you my therapy, but in turn, I want you to know that you're gonna be okay. And I'm gonna sing about stuff that might hurt your feelings. And it might, push some buttons, and you might not like it. But if it helps someone, that's all I want to do. Because if you have 38,000 people and you're not using your platform for anything, what's the point of being a musician? What's the point of being on a platform? You do see other people on there with like 2, 3, 400,000 people, and you're like, you have the ability to literally save someone's life. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, I cannot go to bed at night knowing that I have 38,000 people who will literally, I mean, you know how it is. Some of our fans, you tell them that you're having a bad day and you need a chocolate, you'll have 50 chocolates come to your door.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how it is. So why, to me, I'm like, okay, if they're literally like an army that will literally follow anything I ask them to do, I'm going to take that and go, guys, let's spread some positivity. Let's spread some love. Let's make music like this.
Yeah, it's important to also, with people, hold them accountable and be like, okay, if I'm going to give you this, then there has to be this in return. And it's, my grandmother had a saying, you treat people the way you want to be treated, always. And, I always say, if something, just because something is different doesn't mean it's wrong. Just educate yourself and learn. I always say we're an interesting generation. We're quick to jump to conclusions or follow the trend, but then there are certain people who really educate themselves on like what's going on in the world and stuff like that, and form their own opinions. So it's 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 interesting, and it's nice to see people just take a positive way, because there's so many different routes you can take with social media, and it can be used in a positive light, and it can be used in a negative light. And I know for me, I get hate comments, and oh my gosh, please. But my thing is, I usually say, my gosh, would you be a little more original when you insult me?
Yeah, that's great.
Please, at least make my time worth it. Like, make me have a chuckle. Nothing? All right. So it's just, I love that you use your platform to build people up, and to just share your views with others because they're beautiful views.
Well, so much. I think, and like a lot of people were telling me, I had a friend say, don't use TikTok. Don't make music like this. I had a producer in Sydney, or a manager in Sydney, Australia, and he said, I will make you the #1 artist in Australia right now. just change this, change that. And he gave me that whole change who you are speech. I love this song, but we need to make it more, you know. And I'm like, I do not want to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. You can give me the fame. You can give me the top single in Australia. But what is it going to mean if that's not the tribe I'm trying to attract?
Right. And if you don't believe in what you're singing.
Exactly. What's
You
the
know,
whole word? You know, you gotta, I just feel like, what's the point of living if you're gonna live it wrong and not in your true self? And the way I see it is, okay, if people don't want to hear me sing about mental health and sexual abuse, imagine what it's like to be the other person on the other end that's suffering from that. You don't like to hear it.
and imagine if they had nothing to listen to help them get through it.
That's it. Yeah.
The fact that they have somebody that they know they can turn to, and know that there's somebody who's been through it, who's walked through that part of life, gotten to another point, and has now come out and is doing amazing things, positive things, and putting beautiful things out there for them. I think that's the greatest gift you could give to those people. It's amazing how music and even social media presences, how those two things can just, even if you're laying in bed at night, you could be sleeping, but somebody at 4 a.m. is on your page, listening to your music, feeling your passion. And maybe that's a moment that they're scared or they don't know what they're going through, but they know that they have that video of yours. That's life-changing as an artist and as a person.
That's amazing. Thank you. Oh, when you put it like that, I'm like, that's why I do what I do, is literally for the moments that I don't see and the moments that I don't hear about. That is why I do what I do, and why I'll continue doing what I do. And it's people like you that see that and make me, because there are days where I lay in bed and I don't get out of bed. I don't shower. I don't move because, I'm fighting my own depression and my own anxiety. But then I get people like you coming to me saying, I believe in you. I love you. You've got something. And that motivates me to get out of bed. So I need to say thank you to you, because you don't ever see people of your stature, for instance, like coming to a little on me in a small town in Perth, Australia, to say, hey, I know you don't know me, but hi, I love you and you're good. And, there's millions of other people that you could have reached out to. So the fact that you reached out to me, and you just make me believe in myself. So thank you. Because without you believing in me, none of this would be possible either. So I need you to know that, like 100%.
Well, thank you. I just believe in, giving credit where it's due and letting people know, like, wow, you have an incredible gift, and or if you haven't been told, like, you're awesome. I do it with, my friends, and it just, like I said, it goes back to just putting out what you want to get back. And I always say, like, no matter how crappy people are to me or whatever they want to sling my way that day, I'm not going to let it get in the way of how I treat others. Like, I'm not going to let an experience with somebody sour me for the future. It's like, I just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just me.
Amazing. You're amazing. And this is why we connect, because you're part of the tribe. We're like a tribe member.
Well, I did an interview one time, and somebody said to me, you're always so positive. You're always in such a good mood. I said, look, I have anxiety like the rest of the world. I get sad. I have my moments. I said, but I also make a conscious decision every day when I get out of bed that I am not going to let what other people do affect the course of my day. Like, sure, they could try and throw a wrench in my plans, but I am determined at the end of the day to live that day to my best potential, because life is flipping short. We've seen it with COVID. We've seen it more than ever now. And I just, it's brought a lot of people together, as we've seen on TikTok with the 9 million TikTok romances. Oh my God, I can't.
Gosh, yes. I mean, I feel like I fall in love with someone on TikTok almost every day. I'm like,
Yeah, you and me both. It's, ay. Honestly, I've never been a person who's had celebrity crushes, ever. Growing up, never really. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe a couple. But when I tell you, the TikTok, oh my gosh. A new TikTok crush forms at least once a week. I'm like, oh, where'd you come from? Like,
who's your current at the moment? Let's see if we can get it out of you.
what did you say?
Who's your current TikTok crush? Are you allowed to say?
Oh my God, I guess so. I don't have her. Well, there's like two that I go back. That I watch one video and then I'm like, oh, she's adorable, and then I watch it, I'm like, oh, she's adorable. So but
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Have you hit the DMs yet? Because I do. I try.
What?
Have you hit them up in their DMs yet?
I have not. No, I haven't even left a comment.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Ay, gosh, I don't know. I'm really bad when it comes to that, because it's like I feel like people get weirded out when I hit on them, because I played Tracy and she's like the sweetest person ever. So I feel like they're like, oh, like that girl likes to party, and I'm like, I am a human being. I am not Tracy Turnblad. I'm a woman. I have needs, people, like and I feel like people look at me when I'm like, batting my eyelashes. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it because I want to be cute. Like, it's because I like it. But there's sometimes it's hard dating while Turnblad.
I couldn't imagine, actually, because like I've been getting, okay, so I'm on Tinder as well, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
oh, the Tinder. And now 9 times out of 10, anyone that swipes right on me and we match, the first thing they say, they don't say, hi, how are you? They say, oh my God, I follow you on TikTok. That's the first thing. And I'm like, like, don't come at me. Like, I'm on Tinder right now. I'm trying to find a girl to cuddle me at night and rub my head when I'm not feeling well. Don't come at me with that TikTok. Like, did you swipe right because you're like, oh, I hope Nicole Ferreira follows me because she's got 38,000 followers? Or are you swiping right because you think my eyes are pretty? Like, help me.
I know. I logged out of all my dating apps today because my best friend made me. My best friend Amy, she was like, okay, listen. She's like, it's getting a little haywire now. She's like, some of the stories, she's like, you know what? I think you need to focus on work. She's like, you have work coming up. She's like, we're going to go in and we're going to log out of all these accounts. And I did. For my best friend, I logged out of Tinder, everything. So I'm single, but I'm just not on any of the dating apps. I've logged out. But I have gotten some messages on there. Like, they love to start with the Zac Efron question. And I'm like, first of all, aren't we lesbians?
Like, seriously. I mean, why would they? So they.
Why are you sliding into my DMs? Like, isn't this supposed to be about you and I? Not like what? Yeah. So
it's so confusing.
I think I've unmatched more times than I've matched.
Yeah.
Because like once I'll match and then they give me a line and I'm like, oh, unmatched, no reason. Don't kill me, don't find me, and pull a Ted Bundy. Just leave me alone.
Like, if I ever matched with someone who was like celebrity status or had a lot of followers on TikTok or wherever they had, if they had a career that was in the public eye, I would not lead with their career. I would not just be like, oh, hey, you know that song you did? I totally listened to it all day. I would
Yeah.
not lead with that. I'd be like, hey, nice to meet you.
Oh, I've went on dates with people, and then the next day gotten screenshots of them watching all of my movies. And I was like, and they're like, I guess this is what I could do if I miss you when you go away for work. And I'm like, something that doesn't sit right with me, but okay. You know, it's interesting. Dating's always a trip. But you know, who knows? Good to know that TikTok does not just bring musicians together. It brings people the loves of their life. Look at that. Wow.
It really does. I mean, but I'm talking to like a couple of people right now. I'll just put that out there because I'm single and I'm ready to mingle and I need someone to love me and I love love so much.
I love that. I mean, look, I love too. I also love my career, so I feel like it's hard sometimes. Uh, it's not that it's weird. It's always just very weird for me because I'm like, I know people know that they're dating me, but then sometimes I feel like they're shocked and surprised when they see how much actually comes with it, with the career and the traveling and the stuff like that. Because I like to keep my relationships pretty normal, you know? I like to do normal things, and it's been interesting. I remember the first time I heard my ex-fiance, well, we could just say him because he was a load of hogwash. So I have no problem talking about him. But he used to tell me all the time, I can't wait to walk a red carpet with you. I never brought him on a red carpet once because to me, that's not why you should be with somebody.
What?
You know, so it's been interesting. But now as I get older and I realize and spend more time in the business, I realize that the right person is going to support me, but not really be too invested in what I do. You know, I think there's a healthy boundary with that.
Yeah.
Like letting somebody flourish and do their thing, but then also and supporting them from the sidelines. You know, it's give and take.
I agree. Yeah, I'm actually talking to a girl right now, and she's probably gonna be listening to this. Hi, but
Hi.
she's kind of incredible because she, you know, this it's a new my TikTok went kind of viral out of nowhere. Like I got all these followers out of nowhere. I'm still trying to get used to it. So she's being so understanding, and she actually said it to me first. She said, look, I need to just say this to get it out of the open. I don't want you to think you have to constantly message me, constantly call me, constantly make sure I'm okay, because I can't imagine how you're dividing your time, because she watched one of my lives and she's like, I don't know how you do it. Your attention is like being pulled in 1,000 different directions. And also said, as much as I love watching this, I want you to know that I want to be part of your life and not that life. So she is specifically asked to be kept off that social media side of things. And to me, that meant a lot more than someone who's like, oh my God, can we film a TikTok together? Oh my God, can I sing with you? Because I've had that before where like a girl would be seen very interested in me, and then I vibe, and then it's like, oh, do you think I could come into your studio and record a song? And I'm like, can we just watch a movie together and have some popcorn?
Yeah.
And, you know, this girl that I'm talking to, I'm just going to say her name, Jen, it's very different. And that's why I'm telling her, I have probably over 500 unread messages. If I didn't want to talk to you, I wouldn't talk to you. But the fact that she's saying to me, you look so tired tonight on your live, I wish that I could take your phone off you and tickle your head while we watch a show. That to me is like,
Yeah.
know?
Well, that's the goal, is to have somebody that's, you know, wants to be. I always used to say, growing up, when people would ask me like about my future, I would say, I want to be a part of somebody's life. I don't want to be somebody's life.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
So
You support each other and you just support each other, but you don't invade, but you fit. You know what I mean? You just fit.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's cuffing season, so good luck to you.
What does that mean?
Oh,
Cuffing.
cuffing season. All right, maybe that's just an American thing, but cuffing season in the US is like when fall breaks, everybody just decides, well, because the holidays are coming, let's couple up and find a relationship real fast so that you got somebody to buy a gift for. Maybe, yeah, I'm not kidding. It's a very real thing. Google it. I Googled it last year when somebody said, oh, are you taking part in cuffing season? I was like, is this some weird BDSM? Like, because that's not my thing. And they were like, no, no, no. Cuffing season is, and I was like, oh, it's a thing. And yeah, so it's cuffing season. People are trying to find a significant other. I don't know. Please, no, there's no cuffing here. I'm not cuffing anything.
No, no. That does not sound ideal at all. I mean, I want to be single for the next 6 months, even though I'm talking to, someone right now. I want to be single while my career is like kind of going on an upwards angle. So no thanks to the cuffing. I'm all good. I'll buy you a gift, but we don't have to put a ring on it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. Well, I mean, what's next for you? Like, what's going on in Ferrer land?
At the moment, I'm just trying to write original music, and I'm trying to take my time with it. Um, I have 4 songs that I'm writing right now. There's one producer in Switzerland, one in the UK, and another one in America that I'm working with right now. So that's all I'm trying to do is just trying to make original music that is. I want every single song to be able to make someone go, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm focusing on, even if it takes 6 months or longer. That's all I'm trying to do, and I'm also trying to give myself some space, if that makes sense, because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I've been very caught up in trying to make this music thing happen because I went from full time at work to part time just to become a musician and to take this to the next step. But I think that sometimes because it isn't a 9 to 5 job, we kind of go 24 hours a day just trying to make this happen. And so I'm trying to work on myself, but also trying to get music out there as soon as possible, but in the right time frame and the right way. Yeah.
Yes. Time time helps everything. And I notice, I mean, I'm writing a book right now, and people have said to me, oh my God, is it done? And I'm like, no. Um, Come on. Like, please. You can't rush these things. And first of all, I'm writing it on my own right now. Like, I don't have a publisher yet. So, I mean, there's nobody breathing down my neck giving me a deadline. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I include every story and it's exactly how I remember it. And it's authentic because these projects are our babies. And these are things that will be with us and a part of our name and a part of our legacies forever. And it's important. So don't let anybody rush you.
No rushing here. I think that's important, like how you said, it's a part of our legacy. And for me, it's like, okay, if I'm gonna put something out there, it's gonna be there forever. Like Elvis Presley, he's not here with us anymore, unfortunately. But his music, my children and my children's children are gonna be like, wow, And
Yeah,
to me, I might just be little old Nicole Ferreira, but Elvis just used to be Elvis, and
that's right.
there is a chance. And if
Cher used to be Sherilyn, darling.
yeah, you're so beautiful. Yes. Um, but no, I agree, and I think that's what I'm focusing on is trying to one appreciate the people that are following me and supporting me, and two giving myself the time because recently I've just been so like busy like trying to make this happen, and I'm like I'm gonna look back in 3 years and go I don't remember any of that. So
Right.
I want to sit in this moment that I'm in right now with 38,000 followers. To most people, it's probably not a lot, like musicians who have millions or whatever, but I want to enjoy the fact that right now, the followers that I have, we have a one-on-one connection, and I can talk to every single one of them that come onto my live, because I know it's not going to happen one day. One day I'm going to miss people. One day I'm not going to be able to have that close bond one-on-one. So I'm trying to do that, but make music at the same time and just enjoy the moment, because it can go like this. And I know that it can. Yeah.
It can. It can. And for me personally, I've had moments of crazy high fame and then moments of like that Justin Bieber song Lonely. Like,
Yeah, oh my
yeah,
God.
like, oh my God. I listened to it and I was like, Justin, did you like, I know you wrote this about you, but brother, like this relates to me too. Like fame at an early age and like, and it's true, but at the same time, yeah, you also have to give yourself time to have a reprieve and breathe. And because it's a lot when people are starting to come at you out of nowhere, and yeah, you have to take time for yourself and do the little things that just mean whatever to you, you know.
Like FaceTime Nikki when I'm laying on the couch watching a movie and I'm like, hey.
Exactly. These are, you know, like I just got off the phone with a friend of mine from Hairspray. I hadn't spoken to him in so many years. He was one of the dancers, and we were just having the best time, just like reminiscing about our old Halloween parties. And it's like these are the moments that are important in life. It's there's so much going on in the world. There's so much mayhem and good things are happening, and then there are bad things happening, but it's all about just sitting down, having a moment, sharing a moment with somebody, and having that memory last.
Exactly. And that's where I want my music to go, is just to be able to have my music be timeless, to be able to have music that means something, that talks about, I have a song that's out on YouTube called 24 Seconds. It's about the fact that every 24 seconds, a woman or young girl is raped in South Africa. So to me, it's like, okay, if I'm going to go, 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 the music that I want to actually talk about is just going to go to the wayside. Um, so I've just recently just gone, okay, I need to pull back again and remember that there are people out there that need to hear certain things, and they're not going to hear that if I don't take a break for myself, because I'm just so tired. I'm so drained, and I feel like I have to answer every single person, when in fact it's impossible sometimes. Um, but yeah, that's in regards to what I want my music to be. What's next is I just want to make the world a better place. As lame as that sounds, I just want to make the world a better place, make my music, and I want to be happy. The end goal, I don't care about how many more followers I get. I just want to be able to make a sustainable income from my music that I can pay my rent. And
Yeah,
then I just want to be happy. That's the goal. I don't care about anything else. I just want to be happy. Yeah.
I feel you.
And I want to be. It's
I'm
fine.
right there with you.
Yeah, I know you are, and this is why we're like, when you popped onto my TikTok, and I was telling my best friend Shorty May, who you know,
Love
I'm
me
like,
some Shorty.
yes, and she was like, Nicole, like I don't think this is real. I mean, Nikki Blonsky messaging you. I mean, come on. She's like, I love you, dude. I love you so much, but I think she's a catfish.
I can't tell you how many times everybody thinks I'm a catfish. On Tinder, people never believe me. They're like, is it? I'm like, seriously, no. I wish I had time to, but I don't have time to catfish. I'm like, no, this is me. Take it or leave it. I'm so sorry to disappoint, but it's really me.
But it's because it just like you don't see that with people, and I was like, nah, like yeah. So when that first time that we FaceTimed and it was Shorty and I in my lounge room, she was like, it's actually Nikki, and I was like, yeah. And then 2 hours later, you know, the three of us were just vibing to the point where it felt like we knew each other for years.
Yeah.
And it's been like that between us. I mean, it feels like it's been months now that we've connected, and I think it's just amazing. It's just amazing, and I think that that's the beauty of being an artist and a musician, is being able to connect with other artists and musicians in a different way than what you can connect with other people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
absolutely. Feeling things on a maybe a little bit of a deeper level, and you know, because of how we express our emotions. But yeah, it was instant with us, and I'm just so thankful for, you know, that app. I tell you, I came out on that app. I made some great friends on that app. That app's been pretty yeah, had some big moments on that app. So
and how are
TikTok.
you into Tori? You gonna get on Tori's podcast as well? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to her, and we're gonna figure that out, because we love some Tori Franco up in here at Nikki Nights. She just posted something on her on TikTok. It was one of those transition videos, and I commented and I wrote, because she looks stunning. I was like, good God, Franco. I couldn't help myself. I was like, good Lord Almighty, you're a beautiful human, holy moly.
Is, huh?
So,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh my god. I think
well,
I saw she was in the bathroom, right? And like putting her hand across and
I
that it?
can't. She's just, I was like, I need to go. Oof, I needed a cold bottle of water. I was like, get out of here. Get out of here with your fine little self.
24, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Come here. Yes, this is live. Hello. Nice hair. Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
Very well. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Nikki Nights. I love your hair color.
Thank you. Fresh yesterday.
So, Shorty, I've been on your page. I've been totally stalking your Instagram page. You're an incredible photographer in Perth, right? And for LGBTQ plus weddings, wow, you do some beautiful work, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Where can we find your work? What's your handle on Instagram? Because I'm just blowing up your spot right now.
It's hold on, it's just right here.
She's ready. Yes, a girl after my own heart. She's like, well, I wasn't planning on it, but it's right here. I love you. You're the best.
We love you. Like, yeah, if anyone who's listening, this is Shorty May, who we were just talking about before.
Hello.
The best friend.
Well, where can we keep up? We know where we're going to keep up with Shorty. Where can we keep up with you, Nicole?
You can find me on TikTok, the TikTok, as you would say, Nicole Ferreira Music. And you know, I'm thinking about changing my surname in a way, because no one knows how to say my surname, Ferreira.
Oh my gosh. See, you come to New York, everybody knows how to say Ferreira here. Okay. That's such, yeah.
Okay. Well, you can find me on any social media, Nicole Ferreira Music, and yeah, on iTunes, Spotify. I think there's like 150 platforms that my music is on.
And your latest single?
It's called "Keep You Right Here," and I wrote it about a girl, and it broke my heart, but that is what therapy is. And it's about like being like, when you song "Keep You Right Here," it takes you through the emotions of falling in love with someone and then finding out that they're not ready for it, but you still love them and you still want the best for them. And then I also had a conversation in that same song with their ex saying, like, how did you let this girl go? And then coming back to her again. So it's literally a roller coaster of feelings, the song. So I hope that you guys like it. And yeah, it's literally my therapy.
Well, bless you for writing it, because I couldn't write a song about my last relationship. That would be a roller coaster. I mean, I don't even know. That would start off as like, that was so all over the place. It would start off as ballad and end up we'd be in the disco. So yeah, that was a kerfuffle, but we live and we learn. And it was fine and it was good while it lasted, and it is over now. And carry on my wayward son.
We were discussing this like last week, weren't we? How
Literally,
it turns into a musical.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything is a musical in my mind. There is a song for every occasion. I'm not kidding. I will find a song. So I will leave you with that. But there is always one song that makes me think of you.
Oh, I know what it is because you told me already. And I tell you what, like Backstreet Boys was my life when I was growing up. And as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, Nikki, you feel my soul.
Are they your fire and one desire?
No, it is I don't care who you are. Is that it? That's the
Where
one.
you're from, don't care what you did.
As long as you love me.
Yes! I love it. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I love you.
I love you so much, and thank you for having me, and thank you for being my first interview / podcast, and I would not have it with anyone else. I can tell you that much.
Oh, well, I'm honored that I was your first. That makes me very happy. I hope the rest of them take it easy on you, because you and my friend are going to have a very, very long career and a lot of interviews ahead of you.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I love you so much. Thank you for believing in me, and I will FaceTime your beautiful face very soon.
Always and forever. Sounds good. Mwah. Hugs to you both.
I love you.
Love you. Bye.
What do I do now?
Leave the meeting and then
Leave.
Okay, bye.
bye. Oh my gosh. She's too cute. I can't. Oh my gosh. Honestly, you guys, when I heard Nicole sing on TikTok and I heard her voice audition tape, I just knew there was something clearly very unique about her voice, but the passion and the emotion that she sang with was just on another level than I've really heard from many singers recently. And I really feel very connected to her voice, and she just takes me on a journey when she sings, and it's a beautiful one. And now clearly you see the personality behind the voice, and it is a gorgeous, stunning heart. So Nicole, thank you for sharing your gift with us and your stories, and for singing about such important issues as mental health and abuse. It's needed. People need to hear that they are not alone, and we are very lucky to know that we are not alone with you, my friend. So everybody stay well. I'm wishing you all well always, and have a great night. Bye.